All right, so today on Danger Zone DIY, we have a Pantera autographed guitar. Now, I'm not even 100% sure this is legit, but I'm going to operate on the premise that it is legit. Um, because you never know, right? Maybe some of you can help me figure out if these actually are legit signatures. I had to look at some of them online, and it seems like there's a lot of different variations um, over the years between their signatures, but I'm just going to assume that it is legit because that way, if it is, I won't ruin it. But the thing of it is I want to make this guitar usable. This is probably the worst BC Rich Warlock copy, like quality wise, that you can get. It's horrendous. But I'll get into that. So first of all, I'll just show it off a little bit. This guitar has been kind of rated for parts, not by me. You can see it's missing the fine tuning adjusters on the Floyd Rose. It's missing the bar. It's missing the little knob cover for the 5-way selector switch. And if you turn it over this way, you can see that it's actually missing the output jack. So I can't even test this guitar really to know that it works. We're just going to go over this guitar and just kind of show what we're dealing with here. So there we got Rex's signature, Pantera written in marker, Dimebag with a pot leaf. Then you come over here, we got Phil. I believe that says 626, which currently it's 2025, and I've had this guitar for a few years, so I don't know what that stands for. Maybe it's the 26th of June. And then we got Vinne Paul's supposed signature, right? So then we're gonna take a peek at that missing output jack. Maybe get a close-up of these horrendously bad frets. Like, that's just nasty. So it's a little bit crazy, right? But then we got our fret markers. Just not looking good. Just not looking good. Nice thing is, this is a 24 fret guitar. I don't own any other 24 fret guitars, so this will be a first for me. And then we'll just go on the back side here. Now, I know some of you are probably saying, hey man, you're putting that guitar, we got the missing strap button. Some of you are probably saying, hey man, you're gonna wreck that guitar. You didn't put anything to protect it from getting scratched up on your workbench there. But truth is, doesn't really matter for this guitar. So you're gonna ask yourself, what am I gonna do with this? Well, I'm gonna take it all apart. I'm gonna take this body and I'm going to put a clear coat over top of it. This isn't going to be my main guitar or anything like that. I just want to be able to play it. I'm not going to be playing it very much or anything like that. So the way I see it, if I just put a spray coat over top of it, should be fine for my purposes. The other thing I'm going to do is obviously get it playing correctly, which involves replacing these missing pieces on this Floyd Rose, taking this neck off of here, fixing the fret markers so they're not, beneath the surface of the fretboard, fixing the frets so they're not jagged and, they're actually seated correctly and the high E string won't get caught underneath them. I'm thinking I might paint this headstock face black. I think it would look better like that. This back plate actually sits on top of the surface of the guitar. Normally that would be routed into the surface of the guitar so it's smooth on the back. So we're gonna put that in the guitar properly. So without further ado, let's start pulling this thing apart. So the first thing, I'm gonna get rid of these strings. Now, in my last video that I made about changing guitar strings, I kind of glossed over this, but these strings will really pop off and catch you in the eye. So you're gonna wanna put something over, in my case, my hand, so that when I cut these, they don't pop off into my eyeball. All right, now we're gonna need Allen keys to get these strings out of here. So I will grab some Allen keys. Y'all are going to laugh at me. This is my Allen keys. I keep them in old drag. All right, so boom, right off the bat, you can tell I've done this before. Got the right size. So loosen off these string locks, I guess you could call them, for the locking nut. I'm going to get a little tray and put these metal pieces in just so I don't lose them. Trying to get better at filming and not block the shot with my greasy little fingers here. So get these off of here. I'm just going to leave these strings in here for now because I'm going to pull this whole bridge out of here, and then at that point I'll get the string ends out of it. So I guess the next step will be to disconnect the springs for the bridge. So, okay, so we got our cover plate off of there. Now we got to get our bridge out of here. So let's just see if we can't. There we go. Just pop these springs off. They did a really unusual thing here. They actually, this particular spring, the ground plate has been soldered. This spring is basically soldered onto the ground plate. So what that means is that this guitar was actually assembled, the bridge and everything was put in before they finished the wiring on it. So that's kind of weird. We're just going to cut that because we're going to have to fix this wiring anyway, I'm assuming. All right, so we got our springs out. And with that, we have our Floyd Rose copy bridge out. So I'm just going to pop this back over here. Next thing is to get the these are the clamps that actually lock the strings into position. So we're just going to loosen these off. If you have a Floyd Rose, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a Floyd Rose, ooh, this feels stripped, this one. That's going to be a real pleasant thing to deal with. Okay, so I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. These string ends, you want to throw them directly in the garbage. These really hurt when you step on them, and they go into your foot. They really hurt. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this one here is stripped out, I believe. So that's okay. We got a solution for that. We got a pair of little vice grips here. We just really got to get it broken loose. Yeah, there we go. And then we can turn the rest of it out by hand. But when we go to put the new strings on the guitar when this is done, this is definitely going to be an issue. So probably have to order one of those. And you can see I kind of marred it up a little bit there. But that's a problem for another day. So we're going to just pull these studs out of here. Okay. Now we got some foam in here. Get rid of that. Oh, ripped it. I think probably the next thing we're going to do is just take the neck off of this guitar because it'll make it a little bit easier. Okay, so at this point the neck should come off of here, and it does. So we got our neck. We will put this aside and continue disassembling the body. I guess while we have this over here, we can just take these out of here. These screws, I mean. Okay, so that's that. And we'll take the tremolo, or yeah, I think you call this a tremolo claw. Okay, that's that. So at this point, we're basically done disassembling the back side of the guitar. We'll have to come back when we come to drop these electronics out of here, but there we go. As Metallica would say, back to the front. So now Whoa. So now we got to get this all out of here. So the first thing we're going to do is get these knobs off here. Now, some of these knobs will have a little set screw you have to undo to get them off. These particular ones do not. So we're just going to pull them off. There we go. And we got to get our pickups out of here. We're just going to cut these wires. So we got those wires cut. Undo the screws, then they should pull out of here. Okay, so these should just pull out of here now. So we got one. Oh, that one's in there. We've got two. Now we get this sink. Oh, there we go. Oh, she's in there tight. That's okay. This should be just fine. Next step will be to get the rest of these electronics out of here. So ideally you would use a nut driver to get these out. I'm not going to spend the time digging through my toolbox. I'm just going to use a pair of pliers carefully. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. There we go. Obviously, it should go without saying that two of the members of Pantera, Dimebag Darrell and Vinne Paul, are no longer with us anymore. So this is kind of, if this is legit, like, you know, it's pretty special if it is legit. So I'm just gonna err on the side that it is legit. Doesn't matter if it's not. I don't care. It's still cool to me. As somebody who's seen Pantera in its original incarnation as well as its current tribute incarnation. Okay, so we now have this basically fully disassembled. I'm not going to take out these little, they're like I don't even know what you actually call these things. They're what the bridge posts go into, but I'm just going to leave those there because I have a feeling that if I take them out, they're never going to go back in and be tight again. And then you can see we've got some holes right through the body from where they routed it out. It's not a huge deal. Definitely is a sign of poor craftsmanship, but what can you do, right? So the next thing I am going to do right now is I'm going to cover this entire surface that I don't want to get all destroyed with some painter's tape. So just to kind of protect it a little bit. I know that seems kind of dumb as I've just been rubbing it all over my crusty old workbench, but I just feel like this is a good idea for some reason. So we're just going to do it. All right. So now we've got the part of the paint that I care about covered. Most of it anyway. So we're going to put this aside. We're going to bring the neck back out. Okay, so here we got our neck back. We'll continue disassembling this. Okay, so we got our truss rod cover off. Hopefully we can adjust that truss rod. That would be really good. Next we'll get our locking nut off. All right, so that's out of there. So these are just finger tight, of course. So we'll pull these out of here. Just one of them is tight. And again, you probably would want to use a nut driver for this, but I'm not going to dig it out. So we're just going to we're going to run what we brung, as they say. All right, now it's got each tuner has a little screw we'll pull out of here. Butterfingers. Ooh. All right, so the guitar is now fully disassembled, or as fully disassembled as it's going to get with me taking it apart. If you found this interesting and you'd like to see if this actually turns out, or if I'm just making a huge waste of time right now, you know, think about subscribing to the channel. It'd be pretty cool if you did. You know, maybe leave a like, maybe leave a comment. Tell me how dumb I am for doing this, or how cool I am for doing this. I'm going to be hopefully putting this thing back together in the next couple episodes, maybe 3, 2, 4. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I will be getting this done here, and yeah, it should be interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. So that's it.